Welcome back to Sea Glass Archaeology, everybody. I'm so excited to share my latest adventure with you. Now, yesterday it was windy and it was high tide, but despite all that, I went on an amazing adventure to a whole bunch of spots out in Glace Bay and made some great discoveries that I really want to share with you. The only unfortunate thing is, when I got home and I started editing the video together, I realized that I was missing not only the introduction, but it also contained what might have been my best find of the day. So before we get to the beach, I want to share with you this amazing piece right over here. Check it out. It's a really large, beautiful red triangle. Now we can see that it's a really bright red, so we know that it probably wasn't made with gold chloride, but stay tuned till the end of the video because I'm going to share some new glassware with you that might be a possible match to this amazing find. You can see I'm just sitting in one little pile over here, and I did find a few larger pieces, but most of the sea glass is small. It's these little tinies that I need for my artwork. And now take a look over here, everyone. It's a beautiful little teal triangle. You know, this is the type of shade that I would see and associate with insulators. Although it is such a small fragment, it's going to be too hard to match it to one. It could even be from an early century medicine bottle that just had a lot of impurities in the glass, and that's why we get this beautiful aqua in it nowadays. Now take a look at this find, everybody. You can see that it actually has the ridged line on it right over here. Now this is something that we would expect to see on the crown of an insulator. And then as I'm picking, you can see there's another beautiful piece, a nice little shade of olive right over here. And then I had recently found this piece, and it's a piece of bonfire glass. You can see it's got this ash, these inclusions in it. And that's a good sign that we're picking at a rubbish cove. Now take a look at this, everybody. It's another red, but this one is so much smaller than the one that I found earlier. Take a look when I put my finger right next to it. You can see it's barely a millimeter by a millimeter, but it's super bright. I absolutely love it. Just for fun, I figured we should put this little one that I just found on top of the big one from earlier. And now that I look at it, I almost think that this red right over here is actually a glass bead. Now that I turned it on its side, everybody, you can really see that this tiny piece that I just found is actually half of a glass bead. That's amazing, and it actually explains why it's so much brighter than this one over here. Okay, everybody, so I'm in a small little cove now in Glace Bay. I believe it's on Ocean Street, and you can see I just found another beautiful nugget. This one over here, it's an icy blue aqua find. It's as big as a pendant, and it's not the kind of color I'm used to seeing out my way, but I'm so glad it's going to be coming home with me. And now take a look over here, everybody. I just found a really nice thick piece from an older bottle. It kind of looks like it's going to be a flask shaped, and it's got the number 8212 on it. So I'm just digging through the piles, and I just recovered this beautiful piece right over here. It's a super thick, well-aged gray nugget. Now this one over here, as I've talked about before, probably originated from an old television screen from an old floor model TV. Now take a look at this beautiful piece right over here, everybody. It's almost a little bit of a greenish yellow, and this is very similar to the piece that we found out in Tablehead that we matched to an old transistor light that Marconi might have been using for his telecommunications. Check it out, everyone. I found a coin. I can see right over here, it says it's a 1970 Canadian quarter. Too bad it's not pirate treasure. Another change of scenery, everybody. Here I am. I'm on Hill Street in Tablehead, and I'm still looking for some great sea glass. Okay, everybody, take a look. You can see I just made one swipe. No one's dug here already, and it's a beautiful blue. I can turn it over, and I can see that it's the inside of a bottle, and this is a larger bottle too. There's a good chance that this one is from a milk of magnesia bottle. It's just a great find. I'm so glad that we're here in Tablehead. Business is definitely picking up. Check it out. I just found a tiny little marble. I call these Italy marbles because they've got the green, the white, and they've got the red. I guess we could call them Mexican marbles as well. This one is so small, everybody. You can see that it's been warped by the ocean, and it's been worked down to, I'd say, about 5 millimeters by about 4 millimeters. It's a nice small little pillow. This marble is absolutely stunning. The waves are crashing in right behind me. I don't want to lose it, but I just got a really good perspective of it here in the sunlight, and I wanted to share this with you as well. Now take a look at these beautiful finds over here, everybody. You can see this one over here is a yellow olive, and this one is a green olive. And this is a good sign that we're picking on a beach that has finds that are from the 1800s and earlier. And now you can see I just even found a third one while I was filming this. So there's a few good piles still to pick here. Hopefully we're going to make some great discoveries. Take a look at this amazing find over here, everybody. It almost looks like it's a caterpillar with the striping on it, but we know absolutely it's glass. I'm going to have to imagine that this piece right over here is actually a handle, and furthermore, I'm going to have to imagine that this is actually a piece of lead crystal. So when I turn this piece over and I let the sun refract through it, I can almost see the color spectrum refracting back at me. And for this reason, that makes me believe that this piece over here is actually lead crystal from some sort of a fancy container, maybe some sort of a pitcher even. This piece right over here, it blends in so well with the rocks around it, but it's not fooling me. I know without a doubt that this is a really dark piece of black glass, and it probably originates from an old gin bottle. Let's hold it up to the light and see what kind of a color it has. Take a look at that, everybody. You can see how dark it is. Now, a lot of that has to do with the iron that was used inside of the glass. Now take a look at this, everybody. Underneath all of these pebbles, there is the permafrost. There's some ice right over here. I bet you there's a whole bunch of more rich pebble-bearing sea glass underneath this ice, but it really just is amazing. So here's a few more nice finds, everybody. You can see this is a really large piece of amber brown. It's probably from the bottom of a bottle. And here we've got a plate, and it's got a little bit of an embossed pattern to it. Take a look, everyone. The tide has gone out, and I'm walking in the harbor after that wonderful trip in Glace Bay. And look what I just stumbled across. It is a milk glass bottle. We can see, oh my gosh, does it have a little bit of a pattern on it, or are those just lines from the molding? It's a little bit smaller. I'm going to say this one's probably like a Pond's from the 30s. It doesn't have a name on it, but it's completely intact. And you know, it's really common to find these ones intact almost more than any other ones because they're so small, they're very compact, and the glass was also really, really thick. This is an amazing find. I'm so glad I'm adding this one to my collection. And now I can see that there's a little piece of sea glass here as well. So I really cannot make this up right over here. I'm walking and I came across this piece and I said to myself, I'll bet it has the exact same control number, 8212, of that piece that we found earlier today. Take a look at that, everyone. 8212. It's an exact match to that fragment that I found in Glace Bay over 20 kilometers away from where I am right now. And we can see that it's a rounded flask type of a bottle from a 26 ouncer. And Trixie's right here too. You know, if you think about how many of these bottles were distributed and sold in a local area, it really does make sense that I could find this piece and match it to something that I found on the same day 20 kilometers away. It really is kind of eerie when we talk about the power of attraction and the laws of attraction. I wasn't even thinking about it, but as soon as I saw it, I said to myself, this is the exact shape of that other piece that we found, although there's a lot more to it. You can see we have about 30% of the bottle. Here they are, everybody. Take a look at these beautiful ruby red drinking glasses that I picked out of heavy garbage many years ago. You know, when we take this piece right over here and we put it right next to it, you can really see that it's a very similar shade of red. These glasses over here were made in France. We can see right on the bottom that it was made in France. And they were made by a company called Luminarc, which is actually French in a translation for an arc of light. These glasses are absolutely beautiful. And I believe they came in a set of 24 in multiple different sizes. And I'm so happy that I have them in my collection so I can share them with you today. And then we can take this piece right over here and we can hold it up to the light with the cup and we can see how close of a color shade these two really are. Take a look at that, everyone. When we take the red goblet and we take the red sea glass and we hold it up into the natural daylight, you can really see that the colors of red are very similar to one another. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. It was a great day, and I'm so happy I got to share my adventures with you. Sorry the video was a little bit too short, but I didn't want to go a long time without posting anything, so I'm putting this out as quickly as I can. Thanks for all of your wonderful comments on my last video as well, and a big shout out to all the new subscribers. There's so many of you. I really appreciate all of your love and positive support. Hopefully we're back out on the beach again real soon, everybody. Thanks for watching. So I just got in for my wonderful trip out in Glace Bay, and I wanted to see what the shoreline looks like out our way, and take a look. It's completely covered in the ice floe. It's kind of wild because offshore we can see that the water is clear, but all of these ice clampers have just sat down right on the beach, making it impossible to go look for sea glass.